Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another speed build. A big shocker, I know, but I built another mansion. And I built this one on my beloved 50 by 50 lot in Willow Creek. And this one is a bit more rustic. It has some farm elements, so it was definitely inspired by this kind of style. And I started off by working on this roof, which is so beautiful in my opinion, and it just adds so much to this build and the general style, because I feel like in general it's relatively simple. Like, there is not a lot of crazy stuff going on, but the roofing makes this build a bit more special, I think. So this is a mansard roof, and you do this by building your roof on 2 levels essentially. So I built a room in the center, and I used the lowest wall height available for this, because this way it doesn't look too high and too weird. I think it's always a good choice when you don't want this roof to be too wide, so it all has good proportions. So I built this room in the center, and I added a regular gabled roof on top, and then I used some half gabled roofs on both sides on the level below to create this look. And when you select a roof and when you press Shift C on your keyboard, you can enable advanced controls for your roof. In this way you can shape it a little bit easier, and this is what I did. So I was able to have this lovely curve on both sides, and this is essentially it. And you want to make sure that there's no gap between your different roof pieces. And when you add a roof trim, you can really tell if they are properly connected or not, because when you add a roof trim and they are properly connected, all 3 roof pieces look like one piece basically. There's no roof trim in between. And when you hold on Alt on your keyboard, you can smoothly change the height of your roof. In this way it's super easy to properly connect them. And I added this type of roof in different areas, and here at this point, even though I feel like the roofing makes it look special, I don't know, at this point I just felt like it's a bit too boring, so I just had to add a diagonal room to this build. It just makes it a bit more interesting. I don't know, I was afraid that it looks too simple and too flat, because it's just like a huge rectangle. So I tried to make it look a bit more special. At the same time, this was kind of what I was going for. I wanted to have the perfect family home, which is why I added lots of bedrooms, beautiful kids' rooms. I also added a swing set, monkey bars, also something for gardening. So it's like a really beautiful family home, and this was kind of my vision. So I wanted this to be a bit more simple, so it's not overly crazy. I just wanted this to scream family home or family mansion. It's really luxurious. I built this on a 50 by 50 lot, so there is like, it's huge, and it was a lot of fun to furnish this, and I will tell you why later, because there's something really special about this build. So for the garage doors, I used a cats and dogs door. So this is like a door for pets. It's super tiny, but I sized it up and I placed it in front of the wall. And when you do this, the actual wall color is still visible in the background, which is why I added a wallpaper from Ecolifestyle, this beautiful wooden wallpaper. So it just looks beautiful, and you can't really tell the difference between the dog door, or whatever it's called, the pet door, and the wallpaper. So I think it was a good fit. And then I wanted to have a really extra special front yard, which is why I used some round floor pieces to create this curved path. So I made a tutorial about this like ages ago, and this is like different, but it's the same method essentially, because I also simply combined some round floor pieces or foundation pieces, and I added a fence to the foundation piece, and that's it. And I just wanted this to look extra special. And then I used the terrain tools to have a driveway. I felt it looked too boring, so I just used a fence to create this flower bed in the center. I'm going to place a small tree there, if I recall correctly. And then I used a debug object or multiple debug objects. This is base game, and it looks like some type of crop, just something that you would plant on a farm. So this is what I used. I just wanted to have this farm vibe, so I didn't want to build a full-on farm or the imitation of a farm, because we can't really have a proper farm, but I just wanted to have some of these vibes. So I included this beautiful debug object. For the color scheme, I wanted to have lots of whites and then a nice contrast, which is why I used a lot of wood here and there. And I decorated this build on the exterior a lot. So here at this point, I didn't do it yet, but I added lots of plants and lamps and awnings, just different things, because I really wanted this to look special. I really like to do this. As I used to say, it's all about the details, and I still think so, but I think I said this a lot in my speed builds back then, because this was kind of my number one advice. I really like to add a lot to the exterior, and I still try to not add too much, and sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. And I used these wonderful base game windows. So as you guys of course know, we got this wonderful update a while ago, which allows us free window placement finally. And I could never really use these windows. I never understood how. They have some shutters and they are beautiful, but you couldn't place them right next to each other to create an actual window, I guess. So it was always this weird window with one shutter. I don't know, I never used it, but now I can finally use it because of the update, and I can just totally recommend to use this window and to embrace it. It has been the base game since forever, maybe even since the very beginning. I don't know, or maybe it was added in a patch. I don't even remember. But finally, we can give this window all the love it deserves because it's beautiful. I mean, I wish there were more swatches, to be honest, because the swatches are pretty basic. Also, this weird blue swatch. I don't know why. I don't want to rant about the base game swatches, but some swatches are a bit weird, to be honest. And I'm glad that we got the new swatch for the shelf, the white base game shelf, and we also got some new door swatches, so I mean that's great. But for this window, I just wish we had some more swatches. I don't even know if there's like a very basic white swatch. I've said it before, but I wish we had the same swatches, like basic swatches for each object, like white and black and then different wood swatches, but they all match, so each object could be combined with each other basically. And here I added a sized up gate, a cats and dogs gate inside the roof. I have no idea why, to be honest. This was super random, but it just looked great. As I said, I wanted to add as many details as possible, so I just did that, and I incorporated it into the garage on the interior, which was a lot of fun, as you will see later. And I used this jungle adventure wall decoration. It's perfect to create cornerstones. I can totally recommend using this object to create some cornerstones. And then I used these wall plants from Jungle Adventure. They are just beautiful, these beautiful vines, and they're just perfect for a home like this. I love this pack so much because of the cornerstones and these vines. It's such a great pack for just to decorate the exterior, I guess. I'm not really into the pack itself, the whole jungle theme. It's just not my building style, but there are a lot of great objects in this pack. And then I rotated a debug car. So the car is from the base game. I just decided to rotate it a little bit so it would properly sit on my sloped driveway. And I like to use the tool mod. And in case you're new here, it's the tool mod by Twisted Maxi, which allows you to rotate objects, and a lot of other great things are possible with this mod, but it doesn't affect the gallery upload, so you don't need the mod to grab this build from the gallery. It's still completely unmodded, and everything will still be where it's supposed to be and rotated, so you can simply download this. I didn't use tool a lot in this build, just to make some minor changes like the car, for example, but here I didn't rely on tool at all for this build. I sometimes create some builds which heavily rely on the tool mod when I want to have a huge round window facade as the eye catcher, for example. The build wouldn't be the same without using tool, but here in this case this is not like a tool build or something, just some minor things. So if you want to recreate this without the mod, for example, you don't need tool for this at all. Just place the car on the driveway the way it is, or you could build a basement below and just raise it a bit so it just, the tires a bit sunken in the terrain. There are so many options to do this, and I just love the tool mod. I just do. And I built this house in the back of the lot. This is like a pool house, and originally I wanted to turn this into a home gym, but I didn't do that because, as you will see, I decided to use the garage to have a home gym, and I also placed some other stuff on the inside, as you will see later. So I had no idea what to do with the pool house, so I eventually decided to turn this into a home for a butler, for example. I don't know, your teenager sim could live in there, or maybe your aged up child, your young adult child, so they just have a place to stay for a while or something. So this will be a completely separate build technically. I'm going to include a bathroom, a kitchen, a TV, a sofa, a bed, so basically anything a sim would need is going to be included in the pool house. I like this. Like when I watch American movies or TV shows and they are rich, they always have this pool house, which is like perfect for guests, like a guest house. And I think this is kind of perfect if you want to have a butler in this game, or maybe in case a sim stays over, I don't know. And I added a swing set and monkey bars, and I used the terrain paint to make it look a bit more realistic. So the lawn is kind of totally destroyed below because of the swing set and all that, and it's just a nice little detail that you can use to make it look a bit more realistic and lived in and fun. I used some rugs from Get Together to create this path. It's a bit curved, so I just arranged it this way. That's it. You just have to hold down Alt on your keyboard and your left mouse button to rotate objects really like this. And you have to make sure to activate the Sims 3 camera. And here at this point, I already started to work on the floor plan because I've started to include the floor plan in my videos a while ago, and you guys seem to enjoy it. And the build is divided into two sections basically, because I included some type of tunnel, and this is why there is like the main part of the house, and then I have the garage on the other side, as you will see. And here I had to change the roof a bit, and the reason is it just made it impossible to work on the floor plan on the top, because when your roof is too high in this case, it's just visible above your room, and this renders the room completely useless essentially. So I had to change the roof. So what I did was I only left the roof in the areas where I didn't have a room up there, and then I added another roof on top, and this kind of shows it's kind of visible when you take a look at the build from the outside, but it kind of looks interesting. As I said earlier, when you properly connect roof pieces, you won't see the roof trim in between, but here you totally do, because I just had to use this workaround, but it actually adds a lot to the build visually, in my opinion. It looks great, it makes the roof a bit more interesting. As I said earlier, it's a relatively simple build when it comes to the shape and the whole layout, so all these little details added a lot. So what I just did is the perfect workaround for this. If you're running into the same problem, you would probably have to rewatch this part of the video, but this is what I recommend. I could also make a tutorial about this if you're interested. It's a problem that I run into all the time, so this is kind of my little workaround. And here you can see what's special about this interior. I already teased this earlier, so I used some amazing no CC gallery paintings by SimSationalToo. I'm going to add the gallery ID here in the video so you can look them up, and I'm just blown away. So this was actually recommended by a family friend, and this friend is super into Sims as well, and they stumbled upon this gallery ID, and they have the most amazing no CC paintings in the gallery. They are saved in the gallery as rooms, so you can simply save the rooms to your library and then you can place them, which is what I did here. So I used a lot of different paintings in this video, as you will see while I'm finishing this, and all of these paintings are by SimSationalToo. So let me explain. Your Sims can paint by reference, and a while ago this was fixed. So what people used to do was they created CC mostly themselves. Sometimes they just grabbed CC from a website, and then they would place the CC painting on another lot, an adjacent lot, and then they would go to the other lot, and then they would let their Sims paint by reference. And this was fixed in a patch. I mean, fixed is like the wrong word in my opinion, because this was like a really tragic day there are even gallery creators who only focus on this kind of thing, and this was a really sad day for all of us, even though they tried to sell it as if it's like a great thing, but it's not really. I mean, I understand their reasoning behind this. Maybe it was about inappropriate content, I'm not sure, I can only speculate. However, these paintings here are still no CC paintings. So I checked this, I saved this build from my library and it wasn't flagged as CC, so it still works, and I'm not sure how. I know that paintings which were created before the patch are still not flagged as CC, so maybe they are older. I haven't checked the date, or maybe they found a workaround. I don't know. I'm just really happy that we can use these paintings. I just noticed that I had so much more fun furnishing this house. I mean, I just used what the game has to offer and these no CC paintings, but it just felt so different. I don't know, the only difference are these paintings, but it just inspired me to work on the interior, to use different colors, to make it a bit more colorful. And I just realized that I'm not happy with the paintings we have in this game. I mean, I just want more variety. I love a lot of the paintings actually, but I just want more variety. And I can just totally recommend to check out SimSationalToo and to check out their paintings. And there are all kinds of different ones, like for totally different styles, more modern, more rustic, really dreamy, cottagecore, horror, like for Halloween builds, all kinds of different things. So please make sure to check out their gallery, and I'm also going to add the gallery ID to the description box so you don't forget to look them up after this video, but I still wanted to include their name in the video because it's always important to give credit, and I want to show you this amazing creator. So I used the paintings all over the house, as you have probably already noticed, and what I did was I saved them to my library and then I just placed them in the garden, which is what I would recommend. Just save them to your library, and then when you go to rooms you will find them there. You have this little folder symbol, and this is where you can find the saved rooms, and I just placed them in the garden, and then I just picked them up and then I just placed them everywhere all over the house. You can copy them using the eyedropper tool, so you sometimes have to place a room over and over again if you want to use the same painting again. But I mean, this is not really annoying, at least when you have enough space. I'm not sure what you would do if you are building on a super small lot and there's no space left. This is like, I don't know, I always build on these huge lots. I haven't run into this problem yet, but yeah, just amazing. And it's no CC because some of my builds are CC free, so it's just wonderful. You can download this build from the gallery and it's CC free. You can download SimSationalToo's paintings from the gallery and it's CC free. This is like, it's such a happy day for me. I'm going to use these paintings all the time. Like I'm just so happy, and I'm actually excited to furnish the next one. And it's not a secret that I'm not super into furnishing, but now I am, I guess. Like, this has hyped me up a lot. I just want to furnish. This is why I always say I'm just always so hyped for new content and new packs, because I'm not using CC, and new stuff just makes me excited to build and furnish. And I just felt this a lot when I downloaded these paintings from the gallery today. And yeah, sorry, I just had to rave about these paintings because just amazing, so much fun. Also soon it's Halloween, as we all know, and there will be a spooky build on my channel, so watch out for a spooky build on Halloween or the day after. I mean, I don't know what you're doing on Halloween, but I'm just going to have a chill night, as I've told you, but I'm going to finish the video tomorrow. Today is the 29th, so I want to have a free chill day on Halloween because, I don't know, I just love Halloween. We all know this at this point. I just had to mention this. Look out for a spooky build. And I have I don't know, it's like really spacious. The whole build is super spacious, and I placed a piano in the living room, and the living room kind of has two different areas. I included a fireplace, so this is like the formal area, but it's all in one room. And then we have the TV area, so it's like a TV and a formal living room all in one room. And for the bathroom, I wanted to have a walk-in shower. I used some windows just so it looks more interesting. And this here is one of the hallways. And just look how colorful and beautiful this is. And I'm pretty sure that these really colorful paintings inspired me to actually do this. And here for the bedroom, I used a super, I don't know, it's like really monochrome. And I used these paintings, which are black and white. They are so beautiful. I decided to just have a mirror in the center right in front of the paintings. So these paintings are just so beautiful. I know I should just shut up about these paintings, but I just can't. It just made furnishing really fun, and you can use the big ones for different things. Here, for example, for this bedroom, it doesn't even look like a painting. It almost looks like a wallpaper, and I just placed a mirror in between these two paintings, and then I placed the bed in front of them. And again, this is more dark, not as monochrome. I used a dark brown wallpaper, so there are some slight pops of color, just like the flower that I placed there. Just a bit more colorful, but still more on the monochrome side, I'd say. And I know I didn't want to mention the paintings again, but I feel like I have to, because I then furnished a beautiful pink room. And look at this, I used some Minnie Mouse paintings, and this just made furnishing a kid's room more realistic, I guess. I don't know. I know that a lot of people, like a lot of Simmers, are only into Maxis Match CC, for example, and I think the same applies for these no CC gallery paintings, because at some point you just kind of cross a line, because now we have Disney in this kids room because of the no CC paintings. So I understand that a lot of people might not enjoy this, but for me, I felt like it's just a bit more realistic, and I just had a lot of fun to furnish it this way. Here for this room, I also used one of the paintings. I don't know, it's just so wonderful. I can't help it. I promise in the next speed build I will calm down, but this has just made my day. I'm just so hyped about this. And these kids' rooms are a bit smaller. There are 2 regular bedrooms for grown-ups. Then I have included 3 kids' rooms, and then another bedroom because of the guest house or the pool house. So there are 6 bedrooms in total, and a lot of bathrooms. I don't even know how many at this point. And here, this is the garage. As you can see, I included the flower binding table, the workbench, and then I also used some of these paintings, which are perfect for a room like this. These paintings have actually inspired me to furnish it this way, and I just wanted to have a room for all these things, and there was even enough space left for a home gym. As I said earlier, at first I wanted to include the home gym in the pool house, but then I decided to build the home gym over here. So this is right next to the garage. So as I said earlier, maybe you can already tell. If not, you will see this in the screenshots that I've attached. You will see that there are 2 different areas. Like, the house is divided because of the passage that I included, and one side is like only stuff for just like the living area, living room, kitchen, and all that stuff. And then on the other side at the bottom we have the garage and the home gym, but above the gym there are the kids' rooms. So it's all a bit divided. The floor plan is a bit crazy and weird because of the decisions that are made in the very beginning, where I included this little passage or tunnel. But I mean, it is what it is. I think it's a really beautiful family home. It's just a bit unique. And this here is the pool house, and I wanted to have a low-key, some type of beach theme. I don't know if it really shows, but I wanted to have this wallpaper which looks like sand. Then I have a contrast because of the blue. Then I have these paintings, and I just wanted to have this type of vibe, which I thought would be perfect for a pool house. And yeah, as I said earlier, it includes anything your Sims might need: a kitchen, a bathroom, of course. I'm also going to build a sofa and a TV in a few seconds. So it's a perfect home for a butler, maybe. And I don't know, I said this before, but I always wonder how you are going to use these lots. Like, I don't know, some of you are downloading my builds, I know, and I'm always curious, and I wonder how you we've modeled them maybe, and who's going to move in. I think this is like super interesting. You can always tell me about this in the comments. This is like super interesting for me. If you've used one of my lots, how did your family do in this house? Did they lead a happy life? What is going on? I just think this is super interesting. And this is it, guys. As always, I've included some screenshots also from the top so you can see the floor plan, and you can download this build from the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald. It's completely CC free. All paintings that I've used in this build are no CC gallery paintings by SimSationalToo. I'm going to include their ID in the description box so you can check out these paintings yourself. So thank you, SimSationalToo, for creating these amazing no CC gallery paintings. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and check out the Discord if you haven't yet. We are over 900 members now. It's so much fun. There's a lot of stuff going on, competitions, and we just have a lovely chat all the time. So I'm going to include the Discord link in the description box as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a perfect day, and of course, happy Halloween. I'm going to say it in the Halloween speed build as well, but I know that a lot of you will be busy at Halloween and a lot of you won't watch the video on Halloween. So happy Halloween to all of you already, and I hope you just have a perfect day. Bye bye.